Hi everyone, this is Mel from PlannerPros.com. Today I'll be trying something different with this video by alternating between sped up clips and real-time clips with me explaining the process I'm going through to create the dividers for my new planner setup. If you'd like more information about my planner, I'll add a link to the video here to direct you to the article on my blog where you can check out my mini-series about my process for setting up my planner. As you can see, I've already finished the first divider. I did this one ahead of time while I was still finalizing the design I ultimately wanted to use. The papers I'll be using today I've all found at my local Hobby Lobby. It's the closest to my home, so I can walk there and back as opposed to other craft stores. The papers I'll be using today are the antique golds and the black and cream diamonds. These are both from the the paper studio. I also have this floral pattern which is called Slipcover, and it's from a company called Crate Paper, and it's from their restoration collection. Okay, since we're ready to get started now, I'm going to go ahead and trim down all of the black diamond sheets. And I'm going to trim them to an 8.5 by 11 size and score them so that they fold in half. So that way they'll be the final 8.5 by 5.5 size that I want for my dividers. Okay, so my next step, now that I've got these all cut and folded, is going to be doing the flower accents. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out along the flower patterns here so I can make this uneven edge to go on here. And what I'll do is I'll trim that out and then I'll cut down the excess so it fits on the page here a little better. And the next step is going to be working with this gold here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do those two steps together. So I'm just going to cut out one of these, the flowers, so that I can show what I'm going to do next with the gold, and then I'll be right back. So the next step is going to be adding the gold accent behind the paper flowers. The way we're going to do that is by gluing the flowers to the gold paper and then trimming it down to the correct size. Now you'll notice two very important things that I'm doing here. I'm making sure, and they're both related to the fact that I'm going to be laminating this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use enough gold to completely cover the backs of these flowers. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I go to laminate it, I don't want any weird lump lines from the uneven papers. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. The second thing I'm doing is I'm using a glue runner instead of glue stick or Elmer's glue, the white glue. And the reason for that is when you use the white glue or the glue stick glue, it'll actually melt even if you let it dry overnight. It'll melt when you put it through the heat laminator, and then you'll have these big globs of glue showing on your otherwise lovely dividers. Let's see, just trying to decide how I want this to line up. I think that's going to be the winner right there. Okay. All right. So we've got that done. I'm going to go ahead and trim this out, and I'm going to go ahead and trim and cut all of the other flowers and gold parts that are going to go with the diamonds here. And I'll be back once that's done. It's going to take me a bit longer. Okay, so I finally got all of the flowers trimmed. I've got the gold borders put on, and I've done it for all the sheets I have here. So the next step is going to be gluing the accent piece to the base here of the divider. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it along the folded edge. And the reason for that is when I go ahead and make the tabs, I'm going to insert them inside the folded part here, so that way I don't have any excess hanging out and cutting into the diamonds piece. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these glued down, and I will be back again once I have that ready to go, and we'll move on to the tabs. Okay, so I've got all of the flowers glued down onto the diamond sheets. I just had to run out and buy some more refills for my glue runner because I actually ended up using up a whole glue runner on this project. And that's not to say I finished the one I started. I actually replaced this partway through the video and used it all up and had to go buy more. So let's see, it goes in like that. Alright, we are good to go. Alright, the next step is actually going to be adding on the tabs to the dividers. I'm going to insert them inside the sheet here. And the way I'm going to do that is first I'm going to cut the width, and then I'll cut the length of the individual tabs. This is the most tedious part of the dividers, in my opinion. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. I already did all the math, and I've decided that 1 3/4 inches is going to be the ideal width for these dividers. I'm doing a 5-tab setup, so let me go ahead and get that taken care of, and I'll be back in a bit. Alright, so now that I've got my width strip, I'm going to go ahead and trim these to height. After trying out a few different options, I've decided that a 1/2 inch height is ideal, but because I need a little bit of extra room and I like to fold these over, I'm going to cut them a little bit bigger. This would be, oh, cat. So it would end up being about 1.5 inches total height, and then I'll trim them down, and it'll give me a little bit of room to glue them down inside the dividers without just sticking them on there awkwardly. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these up, and I will be back once I'm ready to glue them in. Okay, so now I just wanted to talk about my process for lining up the dividers here. So usually when I do the math to figure out how wide I want to make the dividers, I'll have like an odd number with a weird fraction like a 16th or an 1/8. And that's just kind of a pain to work with. So what I usually end up doing is rounding them the size down to the nearest 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, and that'll usually leave me with about a 1/2 inch remaining of space on for the top and the bottom. So I'll take like a 1/4 inch off and just round it off, and then start placing the tabs along the dividers here. So on these dividers, I'm just going to go ahead and insert all the tabs and round off all the corners for the pages. And I'm getting kind of excited because we're almost done. I've been working on this for a couple hours now, and I am so ready for them to be done. Okay, so all the tabs are inserted, all the corners are rounded off. As you can tell, I had a lot of troubles with lining up the tabs and getting them all the same. I'm just not going to worry about it because I put enough time and effort into making sure they'd fit, and if they don't, oh well. So now we're going to move on to labeling the tabs. I've got a list here of the different tabs that I want for my new planner, and then I'll go ahead and laminate these. I'll be using my P-Touch label maker. I got this at a Black Friday sale a couple years back for about 10 bucks. I really recommend it. So I'll come back once I'm done labeling all these. Okay, so at this point I finally have all my tabs. They're all labeled, they're ready to go. All I need to do is laminate them. So for this I'm actually going to be using my thermal laminator and a 3mm laminating sheets to seal them in. I had to buy more laminating sheets that I've not tried before, so I'm hoping they're going to be really similar to what I've already used on the first laminating pouch. I'm sorry, the first divider. I've got one more left of this kind before I need to move on to these. And then it's going to be trimming the sheets, rounding off the corners, hole punching them, and then we're going to be done with the dividers. I'm getting really tired, so I'm just going to do all those last steps in one go, and I will be back once everything's all finished. So I'll see you then. so there you have it. That is my complete process for making the new dividers for my planner. They didn't quite turn out the way I thought they would because of the measurement issue with the tabs, but I'm still really happy with them. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like it. And please check out my full blog. There will be a link down in the description below and on the video if I figure out how to put links on the videos. I'm also active on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. So I'll leave those links down in the description below also. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.